Hey everybody. So this is a bit of an informal NewbieVA video, mainly because I wanted to kind of talk about some stuff I've been doing today, and this isn't as planned or as kind of documented as I would normally try and make them. This is more kind of just me kind of spinning some thoughts off and discussing a couple of points based on what I've been doing today. As the title kind of, this is all about show reels and demo reels. Now today, being a weekend, I haven't done a lot of recording today or anything like that. And I've kind of spent a lot of today going through and listening to other demo reels and show reels for UK voice actors and voiceovers. Now, I've specifically been listening to commercial reels because that's what I'm going to be, when I go back to England, that's what I'm primarily going to be working on to improve and get ready to finally record. But also, this applies for character reels as well. So where I'm talking more in a commercial kind of adverts and documentaries kind of sense, this is totally applicable to character reels as well, for those of you who are more interested in doing games and animation, which I want to do as well. And, you know, I've not uploaded it to this channel, but if you check out my other YouTube channel, the Mark Humes, I've kind of got a preliminary kind of beta character reel that I've got going up on there. Or you can go to my website, which is markhumes.co.uk, and you can check out my character show reel there, which is far from being done. It's just something that I've done in my own time and wanted to put up there ready so that I can apply for some projects and, you know, try and get on some experience there. So I've been spending a large portion of today going through. I've got a big list. I've been saving. I've had this list for a while of sort of the top UK voice agencies. Now I'm quite lucky that I got a lot of these names from the workshops I've done. They've had like long list of saying, right, these are the agencies in London, or in my case specifically in London, these are the ones you want to look at. And I've got a massive bookmark folder full of these agencies, and I just go in there and I choose. For me, I go male. I basically choose my voice, because the way to think about it is you can go on and you can listen to somebody's voice reel who's completely different to you. And if your goal, like me, is to be a professional and to go, well, no, I want to be in this agency. I want to be with this agency. I want them to get me work because I want to be a professional. You need to remember that you're in competition with anybody that is similar to you. And you're all and you need to be looking at, okay, you know, I've got, my voice is this. And in my case, I mean, my voice is basically teens to 35. I can kind of drop down to very young kind of characters in a cartoony way. But in a realistic manner, I guess it's more 20s to 30s. My vocal qualities are described often as upbeat, young, vocal tones, energetic, but with a kind of dryness as well, because I can be a sarcastic prick. So I've kind of got that going as well. But yeah, kind of like young, upbeat, cheeky, vocal tones, that kind of thing. Those are kind of my voice descriptors. Is I think the official term, voice descriptor. And I go through and I look at all the male artists that fit those categories. Now, often on an agency website, as I found, it won't break it down into voice descriptors that in detail, or if they do, they might not necessarily use the same terms. So I tend to basically go like male, 20s to 30s, or teens to 30s, accent London, because although my accent isn't a London accent, my basic accent, and it still slips through sometimes, is an Essex accent, which is very similar to a London accent in a way. I drop a lot of T's, which is a big problem for me. So I always pick like London accent, and I look at the guys in those categories. Now, a lot of the times, you know, you'll go through and it'll be like, right, okay, that doesn't sound anything like what I do. That's not what I do. But you do come across people who either do the same sort of things that you expect you would do, or have a very similar vocal tone to what you do as well. Now, it's these ones that I pay close attention to. I do listen to the other ones, and I'll come on to that in a minute, but I listen to the ones that are like me because I'm listening in and going, right, what are they doing that either I'm not doing or that I do differently? And does it sound better? Or, you know, okay, what kind of adverts has this guy done? He's got a similar voice to me, but he's doing different adverts to what I would do. I mean, when I look at commercial stuff, I tend to look at, because I look at the stuff I want to do, the stuff I think that my voice works well with, and the stuff that I think will be frequently requested. So I tend to do, in my little kind of script archive, the ones that I'm planning on using are very much kind of like, hair care products like new extrovert styling steel gel, styles like steel, and stuff like that, which is very high energy, alongside the other stuff, and that's kind of the stuff I expect that will be a lot of. I'm kind of going off on a tangent here. I apologize for this. This is kind of me talking about demo construction. So I've kind of got this high energy stuff that I think a lot of companies will want. This kind of hard sell, young product kind of thing. But then I also throw in, I've got a couple of video game adverts that I'd really like to do in there. So that kind of tone. So you get the kind of sort of like, anticipation is building across the galaxy, that kind of thing. Lego Star Wars The Clone Wars, that kind of thing. Or you might have something which is like, Professor Layton has solved 170 new puzzles in Professor Layton and the Coca-Cola can, or whatever it happens to be. So I've kind of got a couple of those in there as well. And these are established adverts. These aren't me using these. I use these as practice because you don't want to be using, you don't want to use copy of an ad that already exists, because if you apply to an agency and they're like, well, we know this guy didn't do this ad because Bob did it. So I just use these for practicing. But I've also got other stuff in there like Apple stuff, because I not only enjoy, but I think my voice works well with the kind of like the there's an app for blah blah. There's an app for just about anything, such as finding your car or finding a house or doing this or doing that. Apple, blah 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 blah. I've kind of got that kind of geeky technology kind of vibe going on. So I look at those kind of things, and so going back to my original point, when I listen to these other guys and their commercial reels, I'm kind of going like, okay, oh right, he's doing similar stuff to me. He's doing some game adverts. He's done an Apple advert. He's done this. Oh, how did he do? Oh, that sounds. Oh, okay. And I listen to the way that they've interpreted the advert and the way that they've maybe done the script, or maybe the way that the kind of tones that they've got going on, and you can pull a lot out of it. You can really pull out like, oh, that's interesting. Oh, he went, oh. And it's kind of like writers giving advice to people who want to write novels. They say, if you want to be a writer, you have to do a lot of writing. You have to do a lot of reading. You have to read a lot to understand more about, narrative and all this kind of stuff. And I think it's true with voiceover. You don't just have to perform a lot. You have to listen. You have to be a better listener than you are a speaker almost, because you've got to listen to this stuff and go, right, how did they do it? That's interesting. Yeah, that's good. Or, actually, I think I can do that better. And I think that that's a real skill to develop. And I just wanted to share that with you because I think that that's a really valuable tip that I've found today. So if you are interested in doing voiceover, and as I said before, this kind of links. It doesn't matter whether you want to do adverts or whether this is character stuff. If you want to go and listen, if you go and find some of the big sort of American voice agencies, you can find people like Jennifer Hale and Nolan North and Rob Paulson and Billy West. You can find all these guys and you can listen to their reels. And you can listen to their reel and you can listen to not only how they perform, but the composition of their demos. And that's a key factor, I think. My character demo, which is on my website, it took me a long time deciding what exactly to put in it as a character. I wanted to get a nice broad variety of different characters. So it kind of goes from, my normal speaking voice and being a sarcastic prick and going into a slightly more villainous voice, which is smoother and sinister. You can have a real sneer with it. To kind of, oh, jeepers, that kind of, ridiculous cartoony stuff. And I try and have a real juxtaposition of them. I try and, I think there's one where it goes from, oh, well, Mr. Mackey was smuggling the diamonds through the old pirate caves to, I shall destroy you. That kind of real juxtapositioning kind of thing. So yeah, go and listen to other people's reels. And the best thing is this is a free thing. It doesn't cost you anything. It's not like a class where you have to pay money. They're free. Just go online, listen to these demos for voice actors that you personally admire, or people that are very prolific. I mean, listening through to some of these UK guys on these agency sites, you're listening and I'm like, oh God, he did that advert. I know that advert. Oh, he's done that one as well. And you're like, oh my God, this guy's done so many big ads. He's done so many big products. And you can really pull a lot away from it. You can pull a lot away from it. And think about the differences in not just voices and accents and characters. Think about the differences in a tone. Because And this is one thing that I've kind of been practicing playing around with today. You can be selling a car, and the car, it could be something as simple as, buy this car today, and you can read it flat. You can just be like, buy this car today, or you can be like, buy this car today, or it could be buy this car today. It's having that different range of emotion, and I guess it kind of is a character because you're kind of thinking about different audiences that you're talking to, and you're playing a different person. You've kind of got like the high kind of like, hi, I'm Bob from Bob's Used Cars. You want to buy this car today? To kind of the softer Lexus. I'm talking to my distinguished friends. Hey, Bob, at the dinner party, you should buy this car today. It's amazing, kind of, yeah. So yeah, stuff to think about. I know this is a massively rambly video, and I try to make the NewbieVA videos a bit more structured than this. But yeah, just some interesting thoughts. A little tip I wanted to pass on today because it's been very useful to me. Yes, that's pretty much what I wanted to say. I'm trying to keep these videos around 10 minutes because I found out on my other channel that trying to upload anything longer than 15 minutes is just a massive pain. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys are, getting something valuable out of the channel. As always, if you have any questions or comments or ideas on stuff that I can talk about, please leave them in the comments. I'm gonna try. I keep thinking of like, what should I do, and I really want to try and get one. I want to try and do a video sort of about like noting up scripts or analyzing a script. But I've got to try and record it on my laptop with Fraps, and then I've got to mix it all together, and I don't have any good software to do any video editing with. But I'm going to try and get something like that up because I think that would be quite valuable, passing on some of the tips about script marking and analyzing, breaking down a character and stuff like that. Just the way I do it. I'm not saying that this is the only way to do it. As you guys know, this channel isn't for me to say, hey, this is how you become a voice actor. This is me saying, hey, this is how I'm doing it. Any thoughts? Do you guys do it differently? Kind of thing. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, I hope the channel's been useful to you. If you, I'm sure I've plugged myself a million times in this video and in previous videos, but if you'd like to chat, I'd love to chat to people about voice acting and in general. You can add me on Twitter. My Twitter is public, and it's just twitter.com/Mark Humes, Hulmes, and you can follow me there. You also have my other YouTube channel, which is The Mark Humes, or you can check out my website, which is markhumes.co.uk, and I've just uploaded my new character reel. There's some examples of some workshop work that produced kind of like the final product. That's really interesting. If you kind of want to listen to the difference recording in a professional studio and having a professional add all the music in and stuff makes, go and listen to, I think it's called like workshop examples or something like that on my website. It's in the demo reel section. I did a couple with JP at the Showreel, and they just sound so good. They sound so warm and rich, and the tones are really lovely. So yeah, go and check that out. I'd love to hear people's thoughts on my character Showreel. It's still kind of in beta, to use a gaming term. But yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm going to stop rambling, let you guys get back on. I hope you've had a good weekend, and hope to see you around. As always, please like and subscribe to the video if it's been useful to you, or if you happen to like listening to my stupid English voice. And take care. Thanks, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.